Okay, hopefully this is now working. Hopefully it is going to act right. I don't know if maybe by the power of this message and what it really needs to be, I'm actually having all these technical difficulties today. So let me set up each space so that way I don't have any problems. Everybody can see what it is that they need to see based on what it is that my intention is to do today. I know that today is Sunday. I know that football season has definitely started. I am aware that I am going to lose some traction. I am going to lose some people to join me in joining me tonight. Let me first say thank you for bearing with me for all the technical difficulties. It was not my intention. I promise y'all. Like, I don't do this at the last minute, right? I get everything set up ahead of time, and I honestly really feel like it's just time for me to get either a new computer or, as I've been saying, it's time for me to get a hard drive so that I can completely wipe my computer. Y'all let me know which one you think that I should go with. Not gonna say money is not an option, but I'm the type of person, if I have to spend more money and it's money well spent, then I will gladly do so for the genuine, sanity that it is that I need to have. But I am not going to let the technical difficulties linger any longer in my mind and affect me. Boop, boop, boop. All right, just like that, I did a mind reset. Hello, everyone. It is Sunday. I am so glad for each and every one of you to come and join me tonight as we do weekly in our, sit on the couch, get to know each other a little bit better. Sunday sit downs with yours truly, Nicole Latrice. I am she is me, and we are very thankful and very grateful to each and every one of you for coming and joining me and being a part of the conversation tonight. So, as you can see down below, we are starting to get into our mind reset process. I don't know about you. I don't know if you have joined me in any of my other conversations over the past few weeks since I kicked this thing off, but I got to a point in my own journey and within my own experience to where I guess you can say I opened my eyes. I was able to see that there was a place of discomfort that I was truly operating in, um, a place that, like, I was just all kinds of out of whack. And I had to get to a point where I stopped looking at everyone else, right? Because I can say, oh, well, I did this because of this person, or oh, I did this. I reacted this way because this person reacted that way first. But in my truest form in fashion and in who I am, that's not normally how I get down. In having that first step of awareness, it's like, what made me get to this point? What made me feel that I'm acting out? Because what's not worked on is acted out. I started to get to a point to where I understood that there were quite a few loved ones, quite a few people that I cared for in my life that had seriously mishandled and fumbled me. Meaning, they didn't treat me the best. They didn't regard me in a manner that was beneficial to either one of us. They didn't see me for who I was. They didn't see me for my value that I bring to their lives. They didn't see, I guess I would say, what I feel is the true intention of my experience of being in their lives because I'm not going to be in anybody's life just for the sake of being in somebody's life. And I don't want anybody to be in my life just for the sake of being in my life. Like, if we're going to do all of that, then honestly, what is the purpose in us doing any sort of engagement? Engagement is not for me, it's not a word that's tied solely to the period before marriage. Any relationship that I'm in, my vantage point and my viewpoint of it is I'm actively engaging in a connection with someone. Now, all of my relationships, well, not all of them, but a quite a few were significantly impacted to where some of them no longer exist. Some of them are hanging on by a thread, but there isn't anything per se that is going to, make that thread necessarily snap and break. It could just be the type of thing that with time and wear, it can just, wither and fade away or blow off in the breeze, whatever the case may be. And then there are some that I cannot get rid of, but I had to say farewell to the old ways of our relationships and how we engage with one another. Um, because it no longer served where I was, and it no longer was beneficial to where I was within my life, and honestly, I feel like where those people were in their lives. If you're joining me tonight, again, welcome. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. It was not my fault. Dun-dun, dun-dun. It ain't my fault. It wasn't, and that's the God's honest truth. But I'm glad that you're coming back and you're joining me and you're giving me a second chance to go with this limiting beliefs mind reset process that we're embarking on. But out of all of my relationships, I had to get to a point to where I had to let those people like go and be who they are and do what they're going to do because that's what they were doing before I came back into the mix. But if a relationship for me is meant to stick around, like if it's of substance, if it's of significance, if it's of quality to me, I am going to make sure that I do absolutely all that I can up until the very last minute that God tells me, baby girl, it's time to not do anything at all. And in where I am now, as I mentioned last week, I'm in a holding pattern. I'm in that in between space where what has already occurred. There's nothing that I can do to go back in the past and change it. There's nothing that I can tell those people now that I should have said then because I said it all then, but we still got to this point. In this holding space, it is a prime opportunity for me, myself, and I to also engage in a mind reset because I have to let go of the old ways. I have to let go of the old conversations. I have to let go of the whole old hurts. I have to let go of any old negativity that is not meant to come with me. Now, in who I am, in my level of emotional maturity that I like to practice, I am understanding that even though there are significant things about those experiences and about those people and about even myself that I know I have to let go of and leave it where it is, there are also lessons. There are also um moments of clarity and moments of understanding from those experiences that I can allow to live and be here with me in this holding pattern space that I'm in because it's a part of the process. It's like looking for gold. So when you look for gold, like you get information that there's a plot of land that is rich in gold. Now you don't know 100% if it is, and if you have unwavering faith that it is because you've been given that information from a reliable source, then you still have to go through the process of actually obtaining the gold. So you go to the plot of land, you want to make sure that you're near water Now this is, Gunsmoke, Western themes. I used to watch all this stuff when I was little, but it's true. Even like digging for crystals, like all of that. So you have to have what it is that you need. First, it starts with the information that's given that this thing that you're looking for is in this place. That's a whole word right there. Oh man. This thing that you're looking for is in this place. Now, you don't know 100% for sure if it is, but if you have unwavering faith, if you're wanting something new, if you're wanting something better, then that is what you hold on to. That is a belief. You get to the point where you have an opportunity to start panning for gold. So, panning for gold is that you um, have a bowl or a contraption, a pan, that's what they call it. You have a pan and you scoop up the sediment, you scoop up a certain amount of the ground and you swish it around. You make sure you have water in that pan. You swish it around so that the lighter things can start to come off the top. The smaller rocks can start to swirl around and come out. And by the time you get done with this swirling pattern, the holding pattern, then you're left with clear visibility of what you have left in your pan. You'll be able to see the duds. You'll be able to see, the rocks that are just rocks. You'll be able to see little gleams and glitters of gold flecks. You'll hopefully be able to see various gold pieces of different sizes. In this process of our mind reset, my sole focus is to take you through the process of panning through your mental sediment to get to the golden place that it is that you want to get to. For me, that's the place on the other side because I'm already in the holding. I'm already swirling. Things are starting to move around. Like, even though I do not like this part of the process, it's a beautiful part of the process because it also gives me the time and the opportunity to be able to focus on what is really going good in my life. Like, there are some people who will genuinely get to a point to where they decide to walk away from the hurt ones or the hurt situations that they love. They'll get to a point where they get into the holding pattern, that space in between what was and what is yet to come. They'll get so scared. They'll get so uncomfortable. They'll just want to jump out of their skin and they jump right back into what they experienced before because there's familiarity there. There's a little bit of comfort there. There's a place of lack of accountability that they don't have to operate in. And they become, I don't even want to say comfortable. They become more complacent than what they were before. Because if you have the opportunity to come out of that space and you're in that in between phase, but you nut up and get scared and you go back to what you knew, that's a decision, not a choice. Because you made a choice in the first place to say, I want to walk away from this stuff. I want to walk away from this version of who I used to be that allowed people that weren't on my level to be in my stratosphere. I want to walk away from the person who operated at a lesser vibration to just take any and everything that came my way, knowing that it was not facilitating my growth. It wasn't getting me to where it was that I needed to be. I want to say goodbye to the person who didn't treat me right. I want to say goodbye to the person who didn't value me. I want to say goodbye to anything that is not of God's purpose for me. And you got out of it. You came into the middle space. But because the middle space is still a place of newness, because the middle space is going to require you to operate differently. You may not even fully know how to operate differently, but you got to start doing something. And some may be lost because of the fact that they don't know what to do in the middle space and they don't know how to just sit there and wait and hold and see what good things come about. So they're like, I need to do something. And I have clients that I coach that, are kind of like that. They're like, well, I've done this work to get from under that situation. I am proud of myself for being able to get out of that situation. But now I don't know what to do. And I feel like I need to be doing something. I feel like I need to be going somewhere. That's a limiting belief. Baby, you don't have to go anywhere once you've come out of a situation that genuinely caused you hurt. You don't, because there's a lot to unpack after you decide to walk away from a person or a situation that hurt you, but you love them. You love the experience. You love what they gave you. In the in between space, we have to let the dust settle, uncover where you are, see how you feel about everything that pertains to you. See if you're still holding on to anything about that experience or about that person that we need to honestly work on and get you to let go of before we start to really pursue what is meant for you. That's the in between space. That's the good space to be. So before I continue to go on with this rant, because I'm in it, y'all. And like it's crazy because if you could see literally what it was that I had been through, some of it was self inflicted because I didn't give myself the space to just really identify like it's cool not to be anywhere. It's cool not to be with anyone per se. Like I used to be a love addict. That's not a phrase that I coined. But it is a part of like a podcast that I listen to called Black Girls Heal. And a love addict in my representation is someone who is always seeking love, affection, attention, just the presence of someone else from a place more so of desperation. And for the longest time, I knew that that's how I felt because especially in like college, I jumped from experience to experience, not necessarily relationship to relationship, because I didn't fully view them as relationships. They were like placeholders, they were fillers, they were people that I was engaging in, but not all of them did I want or see a future with. It was just like, all right, it's cool for now. This is what we're doing. But there ain't just, I'm okay if it, goes away. To where I carried that into my adult life outside of my marriage. My marriage, it was something that I was appreciative that it happened, but it wasn't something that was a part of my full view. I've never been the little girl that envisioned what her marriage looked like from time she was a little girl. Never thought about it. I come from a broken home. Mom and dad were divorced by the time I was 1. Never knew dad in the house. Mom worked 2 jobs to support our family. Now that I'm 40, she wasn't in the house. Now that I'm 40, I'm in the same position of being my mom and my dad. But in unpacking all of that at this point, I had to uncover and discover how did things even get to that point in the first place? Or how did things even get to those various points in the first place? There were a lot of limiting beliefs that I unknowingly had. So, tonight we are going to dive deep into how to reset your mind so you can eliminate self limiting beliefs and have greater clarity and focus in your professional and in your personal life. Because what affects you in your personal life will affect you in your professional life. And what affects you in your professional life will in turn affect you in your personal life. I'm gonna let that sink in for just a second. There is no way to escape possibly having the limiting belief of, well, when it comes to my job, I don't do this quite right. But then when it comes to something similar in my own personal life, oh, I do that well. But if you can't do the same thing in your personal and professional life at all times, then that means you have limiting beliefs. Or if in your personal life you feel like because of the experiences that you've had with other people, because of the things that other people told you, or even in my situation, the lack of people telling me specific things. I've never had anyone in my life tell me I'm not good enough. But I grew up feeling like I'm not good enough because I didn't have conversations to tell me that I was good enough. In my adult life, like, it was brought to my attention, from my ex-husband. When it comes to my view of how I see him as a father, he was like, "You don't ever tell me what I did right. You don't, encourage me, you don't support me, you don't tell me the good things. You tear me down, you tell me what I'm not doing right." And it's just like, well, for me, if I have to tell you what you're doing right, given where we are, then I have to focus also on what you're doing wrong. But in my mind, my thought process was our daughter lives away from me. She lives with you in Houston. That is an ultimate, to me, expression of, like, I trust you as her dad. And for me, that was enough. But that's a limiting belief because if I am someone who loves and supports the people in my life, to not step outside of my own foolishness and see him for who he is as being her father, then why can't I express, like, hey, like, when she can come to you and talk to you about certain things that she may not be able to talk to me about, like, that's good. You did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me not to do it, yeah, that is a limiting belief that I have that I'm projecting on to him, but also not affirming who he is as her dad. It's creating subsequently a limiting belief in his mindset that he is going to possibly operate with. And honestly, for me, it's very weird, because I have been able to affirm people for the way that men, not people, I have been able to affirm certain fathers and commend them for the way that they are with their children, are with the pursuit of their children. But when it comes to my own daughter's father, I still struggle to do the same. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe in my own therapeutical practice that I need to talk to my therapist and be like, I feel like I can't affirm my child's father because I can't affirm my own. And I can't affirm my own for more reasons than one, but the main one is because he's no longer here. But even with that, then maybe I need to take that and find ways to affirm my daughter's father while he is here. So before I go back to possibly getting emotional because I felt it coming, let's continue on with limiting beliefs. We all have goals and aims, and we all have an idea of what we would like our lives to be like. Despite this, though, many of us fail to reach these goals or to actualize our dreams. Why is this? Or better yet, let me put it in another way. What is it that's currently holding you back? Give you a second to ponder on it. There's a good chance that if you were to sit with it and let it come to the surface, you already know what it is. There is a good chance that you know what the answer is likely to be. It's you. No way around it. I am a firm believer that everything starts and stops with you. So if there are any limits that have been placed on you, the limits were not placed on you by someone else. It wasn't by someone else's words. It wasn't by someone else's actions. It was because you gave in to the limit. God created us to be limitless. We are created in his image and he is limitless. So why should we be of limits? Now we should be of self-control. But when it comes to limits, test the limits. All of us have at some point have been responsible for getting in our own way, either because of limiting beliefs or because of poor habits and lack of discipline. Now I'm going to take a minute to pause on that. It says either because of limiting beliefs or because of poor habits and lack of discipline. If you are in a sharing mood right now, go ahead and type in the chat. Let me know which of those three do you feel is the thing that is responsible for what is holding you back, for what is allowing you to get in your own way. Is it your limiting beliefs? Is it because of your poor habits, like the things that you passively do, subconsciously do, have gotten to the routine of doing for so long that now it's turned into a poor habit? Or is it lack of discipline? Mine, out of all three of these, hindsight now, is lack of discipline. I get to a point to where it's like I know what I should be doing, I know what I'm capable of, but then I shrink myself for the experience or I shrink myself for the sake of engaging with a specific person. I do have also limiting beliefs because I've never been thought to like see myself. I've never been taught or I had never been taught to find a way to look forward, find a way to look in your mind and say, I am this, I can do this, like affirmations, growing none of that. I have it now, so can't stop, won't stop. But I had to get to a point to where I had to dispel and identify who I actually was and how I saw myself and where that information came from before I could start to identify, okay, I lack discipline. And the first indicator of me lacking discipline, honestly, was the fact that I know I need to work out and stay healthy. I need to build up the muscle system around my tailbone because it hurts all the time as a result of an injury. But I don't do it. Or when I say I'm going to stop engaging in certain behaviors and certain patterns and certain expressions with certain people, all right, like, yeah, I'm going to stop. It ain't going to happen no more. It be happening. I just be quiet about it because I'm like, what is the point in me telling somebody now that I am engaging in what I said I wasn't going to engage in? I'm pretty sure that there are some of you that have also engaged in that as well. And let me tell you, it's okay. It's all a part of the process. It is all a part of the journey towards the mind reset. How many times have you decided that you wanted to make a change in your life by getting into shape? Just talked about that. Or starting a new business or starting a new job, only then to make zero progress in that area. Meaning, how many times have you gotten an idea and I am victim to it? My tax guy told me I can't start no new businesses. This is how deep it went for me. Um, but I see the world differently when it comes to business. I see the world differently when it comes to how I want to operate within it. So much so to where I build like ideas or I build products or I build processes that would really be beneficial, but then I don't tell anybody about it. I don't really make an effort to put it out there like that. Why? for me, there is still some sort of limiting belief that I need to uncover, but there is also discipline that I need to increase. As for you, what possible reason could you have for this? What possible reason could you have for not actively engaging in the change in your life that it is that you want to make? Is it fear? Is it um, because it's uncomfortable? Because it's unknown? Is it because you don't feel like people would look at you the same way that they would before? Um, yeah. What is it? Like I said, we gotta unlock these limiting beliefs. I will say that oftentimes it comes down to a lack of faith in yourself. Oftentimes, it comes down to a lack of faith in yourself. It comes down to honestly the limiting beliefs about who you are, what you're worth, even how you're meant to behave. Limiting beliefs are incredibly destructive, largely because we don't often realize they are affecting us. Like I said, from my upbringing, I didn't know that I had limiting beliefs. I didn't even know what limiting beliefs were to have them in the first place. So if I didn't realize what they were in the first place, if I didn't realize that I had them, then I couldn't realize that they were actually affecting me. Limiting beliefs, they sit quietly in our unconscious brains and gradually prevent us from excuse me, gradually prevent us from fulfilling out full potential. And more than that, they make us unhappy. No one wants to be in a position where they want more and more is not happening, but they haven't been able yet to put their finger on not getting more. The more you don't get what it is that you want, you become unhappy. Limiting beliefs, they also give us a sense of pessimism, which can color everything we do in unflattering tones, meaning you can never see the rainbow for what it is. You can never see the rainbow for all of the true colors that it actually possesses. You can never see your life for what it could actually be if your limiting beliefs have not been identified, put in check, and dispelled. These beliefs act as your reference point. They inform every decision and opinion you make. They form your internal operating system. If you have watched any of my previous videos, that is what I am talking about when it comes to programming. Your beliefs make up your programming, not necessarily the experiences that you go through or the 100% the people who give you your beliefs. At a certain point, you get to a space to where you have to decide if your beliefs are what's best for you. I told you I come from a broken home. My mom grew up Or I grew up, I'm sorry, not my mom grew up. I grew up with my mom not talking about my dad for whatever reason it was at that time. But because my mom didn't even acknowledge my dad most of the time, I could have done the same now being in the position that I am, divorced like my mom was. And mama, if you watching this, please don't take this any type of way. Don't take it as a personal attack. This is my experience. I love you and I am thankful for everything that you've done. But my mom divorced my dad. I divorced my daughter's dad. My mom didn't talk about my dad. I talk to my daughter about her dad. My mom didn't talk to my dad. I talk to my daughter's father. So at some point, I didn't want the exact cycle to be perpetuated. I needed my internal operating system or my programming to change so that then I could change the internal operating system and the programming of my daughter when it comes to a very similar and shared experience. With that, in other words, every feeling, thought, and experience that you have will effectively flow out of your beliefs. So if you feel like you're not good enough, you won't operate as though you're good enough. If you feel like you're not worthy, you won't operate as though you're worthy. If you feel like you're not beautiful, you won't operate as though you're beautiful. If you feel like you don't deserve the things that you should feel like you deserve, then you'll get a lot of the things that you don't deserve. Where your mind leads, your body and the rest of your life follows. And if you don't replace them, the limiting beliefs, with positive ones, then you won't be able to get the most out of life or enjoy it even if you do. Don't fret. There is good news though. The brain is plastic. What that means is the brain is always changing. And even our very thoughts are capable of changing the very structure of our DNA. Like, let me see an example I can give you. So, being in a space to engage with someone and engaging with this person for a period of time. You've heard the story before, but I got to give it to you in context. Um, there were new neural pathways that were created. Neural pathways are the paths in which your thoughts travel throughout your brain. So, in operating in a space of, oh, okay, I'm not really looking for anything. Okay, let me take that back. I'm never not looking for anything. I'm not necessarily in this moment looking for a relationship. Okay, cool. But I would like to be able to have someone that I could connect with, someone that I can grow with, someone that I can experience sharing time with, going out, like whatever the case may be. Like I'm cool to that. Lord, I'm open to, you know, receiving male energy because before I was closed off to it after my divorce. This is just me being honest. And so engaging in that type of mindset for so long, that's what came to me. And when it came to me, it's like, oh, okay, like this ain't bad. Like this person is not dismissive, he's not a butthole, he's not abusive, like, he seems pretty cool, like, got some communication challenges, um, but still seems interested in talking, right? So that went on for a period of time, and the more I engaged in that, new beliefs came about. She's like, "Oh, okay, well, he wants to do this when it comes to me, or he wants to be this, in his own life and for me. And he has other situations going on where I can, kind of start to assess the value of the way he goes about the things in his life." But then it got to a point to where it's just like, I don't knock anyone for what it is that they do or how they go about what's best for them. But if I can see that you are capable of engaging in certain behaviors or certain communication styles, or if you behave in a manner um, in one space that is different from how you engage in the space with me, that's a belief conflict for me. That's what came about, because it's just like, man, like, I just don't understand it, like, good guy, does this, does that, hustles, takes care of his kids, is about his family, is a go-getter, like, cool, like, we would be good, we would be supported, there should be no problems, like, and certain beliefs came about in that space. But because that math was no longer mathing in the space of me, it's just like, "Oh, okay, Nicole, we actually need to check these beliefs because something ain't right. Something is amiss. Something's amiss for him, but we're not in the space where things are going to be amiss for us." So the reality of that limiting belief system that I had in that space came about, and it's just like, okay, well, we're still engaging, we're still rocking. We have like a relatively safe space where it's just like, this ain't a for me, this ain't a switch up. His vantage point could be, it could have been a switch up. What I'm referring to is, okay, like I've kind of been a little bit more quiet than what I care to be. I'm going to speak up. I'm going to say my piece, going to use my voice at all times. Okay, cool. Now that I'm using my voice, let me see how comfortable this person is with this. Let me see how comfortable I am in using my voice. All right, like it's not too bad. It's been a couple of bumps here and there, but nothing, just too major. All right, now I'm gonna start speaking up on the things that ain't lining up. Well, but you said this, but now you're saying this. Or you said this and now you're saying you don't recall saying this. Or you said this, but now you're doing something different. Yeah, that's not working for me any longer. But I have put us both in the space of operating in this limiting belief system to where now I honestly feel like, that's why and how we got to where we are. But in that whole process, like my brain was ever evolving. The experiences that I was actually going through with this person, like they were making me think new and different ways. They were making my eyes, my mental eyes, see things in whole different ways. Like that's what I meant when I said that your brain is plastic. It's always changing. Everything you do, everything you think contributes to changing the structure of your DNA. So how you think, your body ends up being. So if you think negatively, you will feel negativity in your body. If you stress on things, your body will be consumed with stress. If you are anxious about things, your body will be in a heightened state of just like, oh my God, you're waiting for this proverbial shoe to drop. I don't know about y'all. I got to a point I got tired of living in that space. But being in this space of where I am now, this holding pattern, this space of the in between, there is something incredible that has come about for me. I'm still working through my limiting beliefs. I'm still reevaluating my beliefs on things, period. And then I'm also evaluating my beliefs when it comes to specific people, specific experiences, and even just like how I ultimately view myself because I never really viewed myself. But what I've uncovered in the space of the in between is it is entirely possible to transform the way that you think, to reset that operating system, as it were, and to thereby live a happier and more fulfilled life. Like, I kid you not, and I hate saying that all the time, but that's it. It's a level of expression for me because even despite everything that I have been through lately within the past 2 years, I can still genuinely smile because that experience, who I was in that experience, who that person still is right now, it does not affect me long term. And I'm getting to the point to where it does not genuinely affect me at all. Now, if people would stop bringing information to me about that experience and about that person, I honestly feel like I would be all the way Gucci like my glasses. But it's a work in progress. So before I get out of here, I just want to give you a couple of examples of limiting beliefs to be able to help kind of put this into perspective, maybe for where you are. And, I'm even the type of person, like, I'm a mindset elevation coach. So if you need to talk to me specifically to start to uncover like how you view things when it comes to your belief system, your values, limiting beliefs. Like, I'm here. You can send me a private message. We can find opportunities to be able to talk. If you know me in real life, hit your girl on the bat line. Some of y'all may not know, but the number has changed. The ones who are meant to have it do, and the ones that no longer have it, you still got me on social media. Still available. But yeah, I'm going to start out by providing a few examples of limiting beliefs. This can be a somewhat aspect concept to grasp, but when you see them laid out before you, which is my intention, which is the purpose of bringing them into the focus, it becomes much easier to understand. So let's first start with the person who can't start their own business. Let's say you have a business idea. And I've expressed this to you earlier in this conversation, but let's say that you have a business idea and you're going to provide coaching for small businesses and help them to get up and started. You'll charge a relatively low flat fee, but the company then will pay you a slightly larger fee a year later as long as their earnings have passed a certain threshold. Nice idea, right? Your model involves selling direct to the customer, and the way you plan to do this is by looking for them on Instagram. You will find people who post about a business plan, then you'll private message them and simply start chatting. If you spot an opportunity to sell, you'll pounce. That's the soft sell approach. And it means you can build a relationship and demonstrate your value. Me personally, I like relationship selling because it's like, hey, we're engaging in conversation. I'm getting to know you. I'm getting to know your business. I'm getting to know your life. I'm getting to know your kids. Oh, yeah, by the way, your kid is having their third birthday party. Well, I don't know if you know, but I actually bake cupcakes and I make them into shapes of animals and various other things. If you ever, would like to have them, just let me know and we can work that out. But a problem arises. You get too scared to contact anybody. Like, you have the idea, you've identified the people that you want to be able to reach out to, and you get locked into this pattern of just having conversation after conversation after conversation, but you never pull the trigger. You never actually get to a point where you're engaging for the very reason that you reached out for in the first place. Or you're the type of person where you have the idea of getting with these small businesses to help them get started. You formulate a plan that you need to look on Instagram to find people using certain hashtags or making certain references to things to look at them as a lead, possible lead. And you know that you'll have to engage with these people in order for that to happen. But you get locked into the space of your limiting beliefs. And every day you put off messaging potential clients out of the blue. And you can't quite put your finger on why. Chances are it comes down to some limiting beliefs. One, you don't feel you believe anyone would pay for your business idea. Translating your idea to money well spent on other people, for some people, it's a hard sell. It's a hard thing to come up with. I've been there myself. Two, you're worried that if you fail, you'll lose something that has been keeping you motivated. But how can you fail if you don't even get started? How can you lose something that you haven't even put out there? And 3, you're a shy person and you don't like to disturb people. You can be a shy person, but if you're not willing to be a saleswoman or a salesman, or if you're not willing to engage in executing, the research that is needed on understanding the different sales types or sales styles, people get disturbed all the time when you go onto a website. Let's say you go to nlmadeco.com. You sign up for my newsletter. You get disturbed when my contact system sends out that email to let you know about a sale that's going on, new scents that I'm offering with the candles, new t-shirt designs and collections that are coming out, what me and my daughter are up to because it's a mommy and me ran business. Um, People get disturbed all the time, but you have to contact people in order for people to know what it is that you're actually doing. That's not disturbing them. So these 3 limiting beliefs are just example of some limiting beliefs that may be holding you back if you are this type of person who wants to start your own business, but you haven't done it yet. They may be holding you back from capitalizing on your dreams. Perhaps maybe even getting rich with the, wonderful part of social media and the internet and influencers. It's easier nowadays for you to put something out there so people can gravitate to it, and you don't necessarily have to be a salesperson. If you want to be successful with it, you have to learn the path of sales. But no, you can be on social media and just post consistently. Let's use the aspect of my candle business. I can just, keep putting out candles, putting out candles, putting out candles, doing the what is it? It's where the product photos where it's like, there may be a plant in the background, a nice it's not a template, but like a nice countertop. Like I put something together to where you can envision this candle in your home or this scent making your home smell a certain way. I can just keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that. It doesn't cost me anything. And I'm still putting my stuff out there. But if I don't draw that connection of these candles, I actually sell them versus these candles, somebody can see them as that's just a brand that I like. Dang, she keep posting about these candles, like, but that could have the same effect as well. Just it'll take longer. Like, dang, she keep posting these candles. She keep posting these candles. Like, is this a product review? Let me go to this site. Let me go find this company that she keeps posting about to see what it's all about, and they'll still come to me. But whatever route works for you, just execute the plan. Okay, so the next one I want to talk about is the person who won't leave their current job or relationship. Now, I know for this one is going to have some people salty. But hey, in the working progress, we talk about it all on the Sunday sit down with Nicole Latrice. No subject is off limits. And if we're going to talk about it, we're going to talk all the way about it. We're going to have a real conversation about it. So, second scenario, let's say you're in a job or relationship that makes you unhappy. By a show of hands in the audience in the room, how many people are currently unhappy at their job or in their relationship? If you're sitting next to the person that makes you unhappy, be mindful of if you raise your hand, but you could be the type of person to be like me if I was on the other side of this video watching it and this person was speaking to my truth and I'm trying to get the truth to be uncovered. Heck yeah, I'm gonna raise my hand and look at you while I'm raising my hand. So there's no question. It ain't my job, it's you. But it really doesn't matter which, but it won't provide you fulfillment. Like, it doesn't matter if it's your job, it doesn't matter if it's in a relationship that's making you happy. Neither one of them, we're focusing on the fact that you are engaging in something that makes you unhappy, but you stay there anyway. Why? because you feel it's the best you're going to get? Are you the best version of you in that environment or in that situation that is going to get you what it is that you really want to get? Maybe you think that if you terminate the relationship, you'll end up loveless. So that's why you decide to stay there. Maybe it could be the age old adage of, well, we got kids together. What that got to do with the price of tea in China? Like, if you feel like it is something that you actively want to do, if you are wanting to operate in the space of the family unit and you feel like the family unit can truly be salvageable, it's not enough to stay there just because you have kids. You still need to do the active work that it's going to take in order for that aspect of your life to change around. Because you always gonna have them kids. You always gonna be connected in some way to that person, whether actively or passively, because of the fact that y'all share these kids. Y'all are gonna be in each other's lives whether actively or passively, or maybe just on the holidays, maybe other special occasions, whatever the case may be, at some point, you're always going to have to interact with this person. Do you want to interact with that person from a place of loathing the experience? Like, oh, it's my son's 18th birthday. It's a big one. Like, it's a party going on, and I know I got to invite the mom, or I know I gotta invite the dad, or maybe you got younger kids who have accomplishments and accolades at school. It's an award ceremony, and you and the child's other parent aren't on the best terms, but you gotta suck it up, buttercup, and you gotta be around this person for the sake of your kid having the shared experience of receiving this award, this accolade, this positive affirmation in their lives. And both of y'all are there to engage and witness in it. Now, like I said, I'm not removed from this. My daughter's 10th birthday. It's a big birthday to us. I went down to Houston. We took her out to dinner. We, meaning me and her dad and her. It was not that bad of an experience. At the end, she wanted a picture. She rode with her dad there. I went there by myself. Her dad was going somewhere else after, I think. She went with me to the Airbnb. She wanted a picture. Now, I have been working on myself and I'm like, okay, I don't have no dog in this fight. I don't hate the man. I don't loathe the man. I don't have any additional feelings other than he is a child of God and he is her dad. Okay, picture. Now, the picture was cool, but you could still see the lingering of well, we're here, but we're not 100% happy about it. We're not happy to be within close proximity of one another. Like I said, we don't hate each other. We're just not used to being around each other anymore. But we both poured love into our child for the sake of that picture. Why are you doing it? Why are you staying in any situation or any experience that is making you happy? Maybe when it comes to your job, you stay there because if you don't, your rent won't get paid. So they'll put you out on the streets. Your car won't be paid. So you won't have a vehicle to get around. You buy J's and whatever other expensive things, and you won't be able to be as fly as you have been to other people. Rooted in any of that, in my opinion, that all comes down to a lack of self esteem. A lack of self esteem means that you don't think you can get better. You effectively think you aren't worth more than that. when it comes to the relationship space, like I said, I'm not removed from it innately. I guess that's what it was, which is ironic and it's crazy because of the fact that I've been married, now divorced. And I was the one that said I was done because I wasn't getting what I needed. Like fundamentally, not no, I want you to buy me gifts, like the fundamental things that I was needing. Because of the lack of me getting those things, I had to exude my worth. I'm done. In the new space of where I am now, coming out of the previous experience, I'm worthy of it all. But at some point, I let you question my worth, which allowed us to get to the point to where we are now. And now that I am ready to operate back in my worthiness and not lose it ever again for anyone or any experience, that led me to make some terrible mistakes, the mistakes of staying in the situation, the mistakes of engaging again when I say that I'm not, the mistakes of that's important or that's significant. No, but where I am now, if I can't trust you with what's significant, I'll definitely leave you with what's insignificant. But I need to figure out how to not allow it to be a trailing effect. I need to figure out how to boop is done. With all of that said, like, it makes me think back to, like, how some people will even stay in an abusive relationship because they don't feel that they will ever find better. Now, sometimes it is a situation, and I'm not discrediting, discounting, or making light of anyone that's in an abusive relationship. Love, period, is hard to get out of. But when it is love that has been manipulated, when it is love that has been abused, when it is love that has held you in captivity, your programming is a little bit different. It's not as easy to get out of it. And it ain't even the because you feel like that's the best you can get. It is because of a sense of fear. It is because of a sense of if y'all have kids, and I'm pulling this from a movie. I just watched it last week, but it's like Buried Alive but Didn't Die or something like that with Eva Longoria and I forget the actor's name. But the relationship that she was in with him was abusive and she got out of it. He went to prison. Somehow he got out of prison and found her by way of he stole her sister's phone. Once he got to her, literally connected to her, he buried her. It was like, "Oh, your mom's running some errands to get ready for the trip, but we got to get ready to go." I have worked with clients who have been in abusive relationships. No one deserves to go through anything like that. There are a lot of limiting beliefs that are put on you, that are casted on you from someone else who feels like they're in a position of control. But that is not a reason to stay. I have, through my own power, also assisted someone with getting out of a situation where they had been abused. I don't care who the abuser is. If I can get you out of that situation, huh? No, I haven't talked to her. As a matter of fact, like, have you? I'm starting to get worried. I will play the dumbest of the dumb if it protects that person who needs it. because then that can reinforce a positive belief system for them that someone actually cares. Someone is actually concerned with what they are experiencing, and someone is willing to go above and beyond and care for them and protect them and to relocate them if need be. You never deserve abuse of any kind. You never, and if you are not someone like me who's never gone through any sort of abusive relationship encounter, anything like that, you deserve what you deserve. Changing your limiting beliefs around reinforces what it is that you feel like you deserve. But me being a mom to a beautiful mixed race star of a girl, my daughter will know, don't go into any situation, don't go into any encounter, any experience, especially with a boy or a man in your life where you are not getting everything that you feel like you deserve, because she's going to know how to be reasonable. Well, I'm not raising no bougie, oh, I need somebody to take care of me, like, no, I want her to be able to know herself, know what it is that she wants to have for her life, and to be able to command those things from every experience, every situation, and every person in her life, but especially of the men in her life, because mommy has seen what Grams has gone through. Mommy's commanding what she needs in her life. Mommy's going through her own experiences in her life with men that you are witnessing, my daughter. I'm going to be a living example. I'm finna turn these limiting beliefs that I have around knuckles, it's flipping on its head because I don't want too much. What I want is different. And I'm okay with that different. I'm okay with that being a belief that I allow to lead my life because to me, it's beneficial. To me, it's important. To me, it is everything that I know that I need. I am worth so much more than just the sheer fact of, oh, well, I'm willing to accept the way that he sees me. How you see me as a man in my life, especially in an intimate relationship, should be a reflection of how I see myself. But just know that if I'm not seeing myself fully or in the best light and I engage with you, at some point, how you see me, how you treat me, the way you talk to me, the way you value me, it's going to cause me to change back. But I'm working on making sure that I never lose that because I'm not just that person. I'm not someone for you to just sleep with. I'm not someone for you not to care about. I'm not someone for you not to conversate with. I'm not someone for you not to care about. I'm not someone who doesn't bring value above and beyond into the experience of your life. That last part was for all of my friends, all of the people that I come in contact with. That is my intention, to be of value to the people that I engage with. So that way, in return, I can get the value of those people that I'm interacting with. My mind is deep. But when I hear people say, well, that's just who I am, is it? I mean, if you act like a clown, are you always going to be a clown? If you're not a good person, do you always have to not be a good person? If you aren't the brightest, do you always have to be a dim light? No, we can always change at any time. We don't just have to be the people who we are forever in certain areas or certain seasons of our life. The examples that I showed, I hope that it shows how limiting beliefs can be extremely problematic and hurt every aspect of your life. My life has taken a hit in several different ways, but they were the hits that I needed in order for me to fully see me. God cleared out all of the clutter, all of the muck, all of the foolishness, all of the less than mentality. He stripped everything else away so that I would be able to get into a space to see myself how he sees me and to command that other people in my life also see me how he sees me. And if you don't see me how he sees me, you don't need to see me at all. And you never know, I might have them people come see you, but that's not in my character until you push me. But those were just a few examples. Like you have like a novelist who thinks that their book is not the best. And they're like, "Oh, this is rubbish. Let me throw it away." J.K. Rowling would have never written Harry Potter had that happened. People who smoke, you don't have to smoke your entire life. And it's crazy because I just had a conversation with my pharmacist about that the other day. I've been around smoke all my life. My grandparents smoked, my aunt smokes, my brother smokes. Like it has been a part of my experiences. But by the grace of God, it never became a part of who I am. Now, I'm not saying when I was 18 and an athletic trainer at a school that will remain nameless, but y'all that was training with me. No, where we went, smoked a blunt, all it did was make me hungry. I ate a whole large pizza by myself, but it was just like, okay, I've done this. It's really not that big of a deal like everybody else made it out to be. It really ain't something that I want to do. And now, especially with the fact that I have my locks and the smoke gets trapped in my hair, the smell of it does is just like, oh, that's an absolute no. But because I grew up around smoking, I could have turned into a smoker or I could allow an intimate relationship with someone who smokes. But because I filtered it through my own experiences and my own belief systems, I don't smoke and I don't want a significant other who smokes. So, with all that to say, you have the power within you to change your limiting beliefs. However, you see yourself, if you don't want to see yourself like that anymore, change the belief. If you are tired of the way um, like me, there is foolishness in these men that keep coming my way, and I know why they keep coming my way, and it is because there is still a level of foolish behavior that I have engaged in for way too long. So if you've heard my analogy about the pebble that drops in the ocean and it ripples out, you have to wait until the ripples stop rippling. You have to wait until whatever goes out comes back in and the ish settles. Sometimes that's what has to happen in order for you to get to where it is that you need to be. But even in the midst of all those people's foolishness, I'm still refining me. I'm still in his fire to say, we still got some impurities that need to come off of you. I need you to stay there a little bit longer. And I don't like to be burnt. I don't like to be overly hot. I don't like to be refined, if I'm being all the way honest. But I know that at this point in my life, in order for me to navigate beyond these limiting beliefs, And for me to really be able to get this foolishness off of me, away from me, and not a part of the future that is waiting for me. I can't go back on my past ways, not even just a little bit. I can't allow or I can't accept anything that is less than what I know that I am and what I know that I deserve. So no more. No more, no more. Yesterday on Facebook, I put up one of my first t-shirts that I'm about to drop in my Pain to Peace collection. And it says God, my secure attachment style. It's the only attachment style that I need. So I want to say thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all for real for rocking with me through all of the technical difficulties which created a delay. Thank you for allowing me the extended time and the extended space to really get up off my chest what I really needed to get up off my chest when it came to these limiting beliefs. And hopefully, after you watch this video, you will be closer to uncovering and really discovering the reason why you aren't where you really want to be as a result of your limiting beliefs. So make sure that you guys tune in with me next week. Next week, we're still going to progress through this mind reset. But one thing that I want to do, because this week you're going to work through uncovering your limiting beliefs, I'm going to release some exercises and some worksheets that you guys can engage in. You can send them back to me. We can start to have conversations if you really want to be able to unpack and dispel and really dive deeper into this mind reset that we're going through. But next Sunday, I want to start to explore your North Star before we get too deep into this mind reset. Because I don't want you to go in the experience of your mind reset for the wrong reasons. Yes, I want it to be because you're wanting to navigate beyond other things that weren't serving you from the past. And I want you to be comfortable in the space of the holding pattern. I want you to have like real excitement and real I can't even find the word right now, but a real gust for life for what's to come for the future. But I want to set you up in the right direction. I want to make sure that you know why it is that you're wanting what it is that you want. Why do you want to do this mind reset? Why do you want to navigate beyond the hurt people and the hurt situations that have caused you hurt? Why are you doing this? And your why deeply has to be rooted in you. If you try to do it because of a particular situation, you're still not seeing yourself and you're not seeing the value of you have an opportunity right here, right now to make it about you. Or if you're wanting to do it for your kids, that's admirable, but it can't solely be for your kids. You can't want to progress and you can't want to get better for um the betterment of your kids. It has to be for the benefit of your kids because the betterment needs to be for you because your kids gonna be gone at some point and you gonna be left with just you. They'll still get the benefits of anything that you have to give them, anything that you have to show them. But you need to be better in this space in order to make sure that those benefits are on point. So, like I said, join me next Sunday, 7 p.m., same bat time, same bat channel, where we will get into uncovering your North Star, your reason why you want to be who you want to be, or your reason why you want to be better than who you currently are. It's so many things that I can say, but y'all have given me enough time. Thank y'all. I hope y'all have a really good week. If this conversation was beneficial, insightful, if it started to scratch at the surface of anything in your own personal life, please reach out to me and let me know. Jerry Wayne says, please help the needy motherless baby. Needs help. I can't do it alone. Please help. They need care, food in their need. Jerry Wayne, send me a message. Let me know. Can you elaborate a little bit more about what it is that you're trying to say. I don't quite understand it. But yes, if anything that I can do here in this space can help to reach out to people who really need to change um how they're going about this thing called life for the betterment of themselves and then to also benefit their kids. That's me all day. That is my own personal story. That is my mission of what it is that I'm trying to do. I'm also going to start releasing like little conversations throughout the week of things that just go on in my mind from what I see on social media, what I experience from engaging in the places and the spaces and the people that I do, and sorry, it's my daughter. But yeah, Imma start, like, giving y'all some insight into my mind, my own thought process, all of that, so you can see how all of these things come together for me. Jerry Wayne, like I said, hit me on private message. Let me know exactly what you're talking about so I can get specific into that, and I'd love to engage with you. Everyone else, I want to wish y'all a very good evening. I hope y'all get the rest that y'all need, the rest that you deserve. Like I said, if this conversation has been beneficial to you, reach out to your girl and let me know. If there is something that you specifically want me to talk about as a means to help further facilitate good conversation, let's do it. We need to change the way that we're having these conversations and engaging with one another. Um, but yeah, I want to let y'all go. I'm hungry. I'm about to eat and I'm a little delusional. But as always, I want to actively encourage you to be on a pursuit of having and obtaining a good life filled with real love and all of the above. Until next Sunday, where we uncover and reveal your North Star. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a good evening, and I look forward to seeing y'all next week.